advisory. So I'll get into all three of those in a little bit more detail in a moment. But just wanted to introduce Jamie. And Jamie and myself will hang around after the conversation if any of you want to have a little chat as well. All right. So, all right. Service New South Wales. I think everybody understands and knows about Service New South Wales. We're the little known... You want me to shout a little bit louder? Yes, okay. Will do. Is this actually...
That's actually for...
Oh, it's for there. Okay, sorry. All right, so Service New South Wales, everybody I think has renewed a license or been in one of those offices with Service New South Wales. We are their baby brother. We are the business bureau. We don't work out of an office building. We work in community. And our focus is solely on business owners. And within that remit, we're looking to focus on small business owners. Myself, my name is Rory Gilmartin. I am Irish, so I apologize if my accent throws any of you, or you don't understand what I'm saying. I can't change my accent, so you're just going to have to deal with that. I was going to do an acknowledgement of country, if that's all right. It's something that I like to do at the start of all meetings. So I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands that we're meeting on here today. I pay my respects to elders past and present, and celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal peoples and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands and waters of New South Wales. I also acknowledge and pay my respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and colleagues joining us today. So to start with, as I said, I'm going to play a little video for you, and it just gives a snapshot for less than a minute of who we are and what we do, and hopefully the volume works.
The Service New South Wales Business Bureau is here to help your business. You can get personalised support to help you start a business, manage day-to-day operations, look for opportunities to grow, or adapt your business to meet new challenges. We can help you with tailored advice from independent advisors on topics such as business planning, marketing, and cash flow. You can also download the Service New South Wales Business Bureau app to book advisors, track and save licenses, redeem vouchers, and connect with our team. To get started, call 13 77 88. For free interpreter services, call 13 14 50 and ask the interpreter to call us.
All right. So very short, sharp, simple summary of who we are and what we do. There are two numbers. 137788 is your main number. If you want to take that away and write that down, pass it around. I'm sure we will share some assets with Jay that can be put up on your CRM or your blogs and posts that everyone in your community can absolutely access those. But yes, I want to go through in some more detail some of the things we do. But before I do, it was great to hear from the room. I like that introductory format. And it's nice to get a lay of the land of who is actually in here. From the magician up the front here who's reading all our minds to everyone down at this table, there's a key sense of assistance, support and help both at a personal level and at a business level. So, and some traditional businesses, love that you're into kitchen designs. I'm thinking about doing one soon, so who knows. But yeah, it was nice to see that broad range of businesses and supports that you're actually already offering in your community. And hopefully this kind of platform allows you to meet and mingle with others that can refer you to other people and introduce some new businesses to you, right? From our perspective, we are state government. What we look at focusing on is an overall educationary and advisory program is run. Firstly, it's free. It's run by business owners. And it's run by business owners across multiple industries. So they will either still have a business themselves or will have experience in a business that you potentially are in right now. At this moment in time, after coming out of COVID, I don't know how aware you may be, but in our business bureau, we facilitated quite a lot of the COVID grants that was there for small business. The government in general overspent on supports in that time. It had to be done. It was absolutely necessary. However, as a result of that now, there is a huge reduction in available funding or any kind of grants or funding available to small business. And that's across the board at startup level, whether you're up and running and looking to expand, or you're a well-established business and looking for kind of tailored or more specific types of grants. So I'm not going to spend much time today, in fact, none, on particular grants or funding, because that is not something that we're focused on at the moment. What I will focus on is the business concierge service itself, what that can mean for you, and the education and business advisory services that are available alongside that. So we provide free, ongoing, personalized support for your business. So Jamie, as I said, is one of a team of around, I think it's around 50 to 60 at the minute, Jamie. Is that about right? Yeah, across the state. Here in Hunter Valley Central Coast region, we have a team of around 14 spread across the whole region. So you do have access to at least one or two people in this area. We have people in Newcastle, Lake Macquarie, Gosford, up to Musselbrook, up to mid-North Coast. So we've got a lot of coverage. So if you have a business or know a business that potentially could use some free advice or a free assessment, we would be happy to chat to them and just see where they're at. If anything else, the conversation and the process of going through that conversation can really unearth something that they may have been thinking about or may not even have known they were thinking about, because we have a tailored matrix of questions we like to go through, and it does unearth areas of help that they could be pointed in, you know. The Business Connect program is a government-funded program where this is where we introduce, after the initial assessment, your business to a business advisor. Now, the business advisors we use, the team again are based right around the Hunter Central Coast region. Their head office is in Newcastle. You may know them as the Business Centre. Some of you may have worked with them in the past, but they are the facilitator of our Business Connect program. Now, Steve Waite is the CEO there, and Steve and his team are phenomenally involved in everything Newcastle and everything business around that area. They also have just moved into an amazing new facility and offer some co-work spaces and different types of training and topics on a weekly basis that you can go and attend, and have a huge webinar library for particular content that may be of use to your business. Our free advice and our direction to you is that you can access up to 8 hours of completely free one-on-one sessions with a member of Steve and Steve's team. And within that, you know, you can continue on after that point and, you know, have some additional services from them if you found them useful, or if not, you can come back and look at someone more local that's in that professional coaching and business one-on-one piece as well. So I also want to put a little disclaimer out there. I'm not here to steal business off anyone or direct anyone away from local business. It's just, it's available to you. It's free. It is quality. But if you are looking at a local business supplier such as this gentleman here or anybody else in that space, absolutely go there first. But this is something you could do in conjunction with that or alongside it to just check that you're absolutely doing everything you can to make sure the health of your business is exactly where you want it to be. And it'd be good to test our services and have a chinwag with someone in that professional space to say, hey, here's what the government told me. Are they mental or are they actually okay? So, you know, it's always good to get a second opinion, right? And then the one thing I want to kind of focus on a little bit is the business profile and what that can mean for you and what it does for you and what access that gives you. So we have moved into a digital age. We're not moving into it. We're there. We're well and truly into it. We are now moving into the next level of digital within AI. That's going to be something amazing. Some people are scared of AI. Don't be. Get on board as soon as you can. Be an early adopter. Use it to your advantage. Personally, I use AI every day. It basically is another employee for me now. And I find it amazing in the amount of time it can actually save me to getting to an end goal, and just frees me up to do other stuff that I should be doing and should be focusing on. So if you can, you know, don't be scared of that world. Start with something simple, but just asking it basic questions and checking some of your work. You'll see some huge benefits, and as you become practiced, you'll find that it is really, really good and a real asset. The business profile, and why I want to bring that up, is kind of the same in many ways. It's an asset that you can carry around on your mobile device. Everybody has one. You register your business. It's as simple as your business name, your ABN, and a couple of basic details. What it really does for you is setting up those notifications for registration of business licenses, vehicles, and accessing government for tenders or opportunities for your particular business. That is one of the big wins from the business profile itself. There is a link on there to tender. Yep.
Sorry, quick question. The app?
Yes.
Is it the same app as the Service New South Wales app, or is it a separate download? So
The Business Bureau app is a separate.
Separate app.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'd like to have
Sorry, I threw
no,
that.
you're all right. You like to have as many apps as we can throwing at you, right?
Because it's not prime real estate.
It's not.
Fire, is it?
Yeah, but everyone needs to have at least 2 or 3 apps for everything. So we'll keep that going.
That's what we've got, isn't it? We've got all these different platforms.
But yes, look, within the profile, it's just one of those things. You set up your notifications. It keeps you in line, but you can access upcoming opportunities. This is the main play for me that I see that there is an opportunity for particular types of business, absolutely. But the understanding and knowing of tender opportunities that are out there to government and being able to go through that process and get listed and be part of that process could genuinely lead you down a guaranteed revenue path for your business. It's not for everybody. I don't know if we need any home buyers assistance, for example, at this time, but it is something that could be of value for multiple types of business across this region. So it is something to think about. The other thing it does, obviously, it just stores all of our contact details in there. So you can log in, quickly hit the 137788 number, send off a contact us form, and a concierge like Jamie would be back in touch with you within 24 to 48 hours is our SLA. And we would turn that around and come and see you or set up an appointment where you come and see us at a service centre or at a place more suited for you, particularly if you're a home-based business and you wish to meet in a local coffee shop or somewhere more open and more kind of secure for you as an individual. So I'm going to pause there for a quick second because I'm going to go into just individual little items. But anyone, any questions, concerns or thoughts on those 3 items, or anybody here, if I could ask a question, actually accessed the Business Bureau and our facilities or services as of yet? Okay.
I didn't even know you existed until I spoke to Jamie.
That's a good start. Yeah, there's a lot of unawareness. Yeah. So that's why groups like yours are great for us to restart. When we started, we had an amazing remit of chasing business. We were going to become the next big thing. Then this little thing called COVID happened, and then floods and fires. So we went into recovery mode and kind of disappeared under the service banner for a couple of years. So we really only have been operational as the Business Bureau since the change of government. So we really are just now starting to find that people do know who we are, and there's still lots that actually don't. So, but it's great to see in a room, with 15 people in it, that 3 have accessed our services, and that's encouraging. So what do I want from today is others to at least give it a go and see if there's any value in it for you. And if not, pass on the word if you see something that may be valuable to a friend that is in business. That's really all it is. Yes, so questions. Anybody got anything they would like to ask at this point, or would you prefer I just keep moving? You're good. All right. What does a business concierge do? And I would normally throw to Jamie at this point, or the concierge, but he's had no time to prep, so I'm going to take this one and you can jump in when I make mistakes. Unlike you, Jay, I'm not going to curse.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, you cursed twice earlier, but it's crazy. Navigating government regulations. So for this one, just for a startup scenario, there's no startup businesses here, but in a world of changing regulations, there is a lot, depending on the business type you try to jump into, that businesses can think they're 100% correct and set up for everything and miss something, and all of a sudden there's a fine in the post or something crazy comes out. And that can be a real struggle for a new business that's already under financial constraints to receive some kind of fine for doing the wrong thing. The biggest one we see, and Jamie can confirm this, food-based businesses in particular, huge regulatory requirements in that world. But just a normal business playing music in their office or in their place of business, and they have a Spotify account, but they don't have an appropriate license to actually play music. So it's a big catch, and it's such a simple thing, and the fines are hefty. So it's annoying, absolutely, but it's one that your concierge can talk you through regardless of your industry, and do a check with you to make sure you're clean and cut and everything is fine in your world. All right. Licensing and permits, same kind of thing. Do you have all of the right permits and licenses to set up your business as you are, or even in your current business? Has there been any changes recently that you may or may not have been aware of? There's a huge one happening in the motor vehicle industry at the minute. We are currently about to undertake a campaign where we're going to contact 13,000 businesses across New South Wales. Early indicators, we've done some some early indicators and surveys on the actual regulatory requirements and the changes. Upwards on 50 to 60% in the industry have not made the changes or were not aware of the changes. So I think we live in that world of EDMs and overstimulation through social media, and it just passes, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and there's another EDM, and there's another app, and somewhere else to log in. So our proactive approach is going to be to try and contact all of those companies and make sure they don't receive fines. So again, your business concierge service is excellent at that. Mental health support for you and your employees. We do work with a number of partners on mental health support. At times of huge stress, business owners go through it even probably more so than individuals in the community, because they have families, they have everything that everybody else has, and they're trying to run a business and potentially support other families because they have employees, at least quite a bit of the time. So we have access to some of that as well. And again, that mental health support is accessible free of cost. So again, not here to take away from anyone else, but it's something that is accessible, and you should possibly have a look at it and refer a friend if you think they're in trouble. Disaster recovery support. I've spoke about this a little bit. I am not looking forward to the next disaster, but we live in a world where the next one is possibly just around the corner. The beautiful climate you have here, and the reason I still live here, is probably one of the biggest players in that, because sometimes you're flooded and sometimes you're on fire. We quickly click into gear and kind of turn up in that area to try and assist. Sometimes that is where funding can exist when businesses are impacted. To give you a really simple example, quite recently there were some earthquakes in Musselbrook. Quite a few businesses were impacted by that, structural damage and so on. And we helped with landlords and relocation of some businesses and potentially introductions to mediation services with the Small Business Commissioner around getting out of contracts and moving from one property to another and so on and so forth, which can be quite tricky with particular landlords, some not so amicable when it comes to that kind of thing, right? There are resources and support for women in business, multicultural and Aboriginal business owners. We have a large partnership with TAFE, where we run some free courses for women in business in particular. And there's just a pathway to access quite a large amount of resources and educational pieces for women in business, Aboriginal business owners. And we say multicultural. We're struggling with the definition of multicultural under the current definition, because I was born outside Australia and speak a little bit of Gaelic. I'm multicultural, but I'm definitely not one in need of assistance, at least in my head, but you can tell me later. But yeah,
English, I have to say you need help.
yeah, like the English have said that for years. And then financial assistance, vouchers, grants and rebates. And whilst there are some that are out there, as I said earlier, we are a government going through a massive fiscal change. Money and restraints in regard to the amount of money available for grants has been pulled back in. So right now, it's very minimal in regard to that financial benefits or financial assistance. Yes?
I'm going to ask a question with regard to resources and the women in business.
Yes.
Multicultural and other people business owners. I'm particularly interested in multicultural as part of the board multiculturalism. So are there any resources that we could have to pass on to our leaders?
Yeah, absolutely. If I can take your information from this meeting, I'll introduce you to our multicultural specialist, have them contact you, come up and even speak to you if you wish, and we can share a whole load of assets. They can maybe even come, I don't know if you get a grouping together outside of this grouping or if you have other working groups in that space, but we can come and chat to your people and share those assets, or come and speak at another meeting if you wish. But yeah, there are assets. There's also a lot of language assets, which is a bit of a barrier for quite a few people in that space that, you know, good old government, we all speak a bit of English, but not everybody has English as their first language. So we have some translator services available, and we have some multilingual people in our team who could potentially do some one-on-one conversations, depending on the language they have of preference. So we can definitely work on that for you, all right? So I can maybe take your contact information after. Thank you. Jamie, do you want to add anything to that? Did I miss anything? Did I do all right?
Fantastic.
Thanks, mate.
Just at the end of the day, we are here to try and support small businesses, running businesses today. That's where we are a free service for ongoing management. Follow up regular periodic follow-ups as well. That we schedule, so you guys don't have to worry too much about trying to contact us. But yeah, an ongoing service and very good relationship building. Can be through the app, yes. So, as Rory mentioned, you can download the app and utilize that for callback requests. But once you've utilized our service and create a client acquisition through our CRM platform, you're there permanently for us to follow up and all your details around our conversations and resources provided.
And there's some good timing. There's some information on the app itself. So yes, most of that is an access point for you to start that journey. Look, we live in a world at the moment that is data is a currency. It has been for quite a while. Just by reaching out to us at some point and having that initial conversation, we will actually put you in our CRM. Then if something specific to your industry comes along, we'll notify you of that via the app and via an email directly to the email you provided. So it's always, there's lots of lists and there's lots of subscriptions out there. Some of them are of value, some of them are maybe not as much, or maybe they're just a moment in time where they were of value, but you keep getting emails from them 10 years later. For me, the Bureau and what they stand for, the intent is amazing. I love my job and I love what this company or this department of government actually does. But I know that I can stand in a room like this and all 15, 20 people here might be saying, not for me. And that could be today's world, but maybe by next year, you may come across a moment in time and you go, actually, that mad Irish guy was right. I should give them a call and see if there's something in that for me, right? So it's not that I'm here to say you must ring me next week or ring Jamie or ring us. It's just to know that these services are out there and potentially at some point on your journey, you may need to avail of them or wish to avail of them, and it could be good for you. So download the app, do a little bit of registration, keep it in the back of your mind. And whenever a little red circle goes in, have a little look at it. If it's not suited, just delete and move on with your life. Keep it really simple, to be honest. I can go through a few other things. I talked a little bit about selling to government, but the other thing that I wanted to just focus on is ID support. We have an internal department and an internal partner within government that works at cybersecurity, data breaches, and just are amazing at providing you with some practical steps of what's good practices on safety within the world of cyber. So all of us are connected to the cloud in some way or have our systems and our databases connected up, and there's backups and there's multi-factor authentication. There is a huge world of passwords out there. Most people use something that is along the lines of password 1234 or a version of that with maybe a special notification in there for some kind of asterisk or something to think that that's kind of good. A lot of those are breakable by the people who are, those hackers and those geniuses that conduct these breaches. They're just, this is their game. So the practical steps that this ID support team bring to you, again, for free, are just really, really basic, something you absolutely know about, but they really can save you so much heartache, because when this happens, everything stops instantly for you and for your business until this is fixed. So it's a really good one. Again, give our concierge a call. You can have an introduction and they can go through your systems and check with you that you're healthy or you're in need of some help. Me personally, having worked with them before, I don't use passwords anymore. And it's a piece of advice I do give to people. Stop using passwords. Use a phrase that nobody else can potentially think of, but a phrase that you either not use all the time, but a phrase that you can really remember quite quickly because it's something unique to you. But yeah, just a sentence, and that is
in Australia.
Yeah, maybe a bit shorter, but something, right? And it removes any, and it gives you great peace of mind and a bit of comfort. And if you have that, that backup software or that antivirus software, you stop getting the 40 notifications every time you open your laptop, because all of a sudden you're pretty clean and your passwords are no longer hackable. So, yes.
Something like LastPass.
Sorry?
I've recently transitioned to LastPass.
Yeah.
Recommend.
Any software like that in a place where it hosts your it hosts all of your passwords in one location. As long as you've got strong protection to get in there yourself, and you go in and check, I would say you need to do a cleanse. These guys will tell you more, but annually at least. I would never, if you're using passwords, I would never leave a password for anything longer than 12 months.
Well, this software tends to give you the password.
Yeah.
Usually long with it.
Yeah, and it's usually just different characters, yes? Yeah.
Bill, I would actually recommend using something like RoboForm over the top of LastPass. LastPass has been hacked 3 times in the last 2 years. Yes. Whereas RoboForm's never been hacked.
There you go. All right. And one last one.
Oh, there you go, Alan.
Easy. It's just one that people do forget about, right? As a business owner, there is an aged population, particularly in the region we're in, Hunter, Central Coast, and around this part of the world. And by being registered, you do open up access to a huge audience who do want to come and sit and have a coffee, who may need that massage and that therapy that you're talking about, and who may need that assistance, both financially and everything else. You know, there is a major group of humans out there who have a fair amount of wealth and some guidance and direction, and just are into eating out, playing lawn bowls, having lunch down the local. So being registered as a business for this kind of product is very, very simple, very straightforward. It's a one-off registration and you're good to go. But again, your concierge service can assist you with that.
Can I ask you, Bill, how old do you have to be to get a senior card?
60, yeah. I believe it kicks in at the same time as your retirement kind of and pension standards. But that has changed quite recently, but somewhere around that 65 mark. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all right, you're not too far.
You're not there yet, but you're getting there.
He's off yet.
And then you can, yes, yeah. And you would put that, you would put that on your platforms and your social media stuff. You maybe do something specific on it. Quite a few of these groups go out together in groups, for day trips and different things, where they get together as a little gang and they go, yeah, let's go somewhere. But there are 2 or 3 major things: are accessibility, and are you a member, and can we come and sit in your place? Whereas me and Jamie might go in and have a coffee and be done in half an hour. They may want to come and sit for 2 hours. And do you have comfortable location? Do you have good parking? Do you have good facilities? And are you a member of the program or not? It's not an end all, but it's just an easy win, really. So be in it, and it's good to go.